on the team bus with Florida State, taking a ride the Seminoles have never taken before. For Washington, a journey planned for all year long as they roll through the postseason. The destination, the Champ Series in Oklahoma City, where the determination of the Seminoles meets the domination of the Huskies at a place where legends live and young women fulfill the dreams of little girls.
Dear Taylor, I love to watch you play because you get to every ball hit your way.
Dear Tristan Melhart, one advice I would give you is to never give up and be a unicorn.
Dear Megan King, hi, I am Michaela.
Dear Jessie Warren, every day I think about softball, how I'm going to get better, what it will take to get better, and much more. Hi. I hope you and your team go out and get a big victory tonight. I'll be watching and cheering for you.
I heard that you love softball.
I want you to know to treat every play like it is your last. Go out there today and give it your all, because today might be the day where all your dreams come true.
Thank you. I'm going to tell you in 9 years, you're going to be playing up there. You believe that?
Yeah.
I believe it too.
Tonight in Oklahoma City, game one, best 2 out of 3, with the 5-seed Huskies rolling through the winner's bracket and the 6-seed Seminoles having to win 4 games in the last 48 hours to advance. Washington knocked out Oklahoma yesterday, while Florida State had to take out UCLA twice to move into the Champ Series for the first time in school history. Here's what's at stake, that first title for Florida State. They've been here 9 times before and are trying to finally take that trophy home. And for Washington, they won it all in 2009, and now they are looking for a second trophy for that trophy case. And we welcome you to Oklahoma City and the Champ Series. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, and Holly Rowe. We take a look at the road for Washington. It's been awfully impressive, Jess. They've already had to take down the #1 seed, the 2-time defending champs, and they're undefeated in this NCAA tournament, allowing just 7 runs in 8 games.
Well, Beth, Smitty knows this. For you to be able to pitch and have success, it's all about the defense behind you. And for Gabby Plain, who's thrown tonight, those have been the stars, is everything that's been done behind her. And what's made her successful is, first of all, she has the stuff. You're going to see a drop ball. She'll offset it with a rise. She'll even defend and be able to throw out runners herself. But when you think about the plays that have already been made this series, Tristan Melhart in right field, you got Sis Bates and Taylor Van Zee on the left side making all-star plays left and right. And Melhart, again, 2 times has saved games. There are stars on this team, but you're not going to necessarily see them in the circle or with the bat. It's the defense for Washington.
Well, they will be taking on a Florida State team, Michelle. Their route's been a little bit more circuitous, but how impressive is this? 6-0 in elimination games, and they have beaten 6 All-American pitchers to get into the final.
They have been outstanding. They call themselves the cardiac kids, but guess what? They are off life support. They've checked out of the hospital. Why, Jess? I know you love this because of their bats. Their offense has come alive, and it has been outstanding. It's been the home run ball. They've had 6 home runs in the Women's College World Series. 5 of them yesterday. That's how you win elimination games. Elizabeth Mason, Callie Harrod, they have just got senior leadership in Jessie Warren, the local hero, and Sydney Sherrill, and of course the first baseman, Carlson Gordon. Those huge home runs, 5 of them against UCLA, outstanding. 14 extra base hits, 39 hits. Florida State has been on fire offensively.
Here we go. Can Florida State break through and end years of heartbreak with a first national championship? Or will Washington grab a second crown and return the West Coast to the top?
Knighton to right. Melhart dives and makes the catch. She saves another inning against Oklahoma.
Deep fly ball to center. Back goes Nichols to the track, and she won't catch this one. 3-run home run. And the Seminoles grab the lead. Let's take a look at the Florida State starting lineup, brought to you by Capital One. It's the senior and the freshman, Jessie Warren and Sydney Sherrill. And Warren, 82 career home runs, 9th best in NCAA history, one of the top power hitters ever. And for the freshman, the Oklahoma native, Sydney Sherrill, leading the NCAA in doubles this season. At the World Series, they've combined for 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Out in the circle, Gabby Plain with the 4th best ERA in the country this year. She is 2-0 at the Women's College World Series, beating Oklahoma and Oregon. Plain's first pitch fouled off. The freshman from Australia in her first champ series against Jessie Warren, the senior, who's been waiting a lifetime to get here. Filled with emotion after they beat UCLA twice yesterday in the national semifinals, and finally getting a chance to get that first trophy for Florida State. Warren pops it up. Taylor Van Zee with the catch in foul territory. Van Zee and Sis Bates, fantastic on the left side of that defense behind Gabby Plain.
Gabby Plain has been outstanding this year. She likes to throw the ball down in the zone, but she will also spread it and slow it down. So it's her changeup, her drop, and her rise ball. She doesn't use the rise a lot, but when she does, she changes eye level. It's the 2-seam drop and that changeup slightly elevated. She's need to drop that down through the zone, but she is a ground out pitcher and uses her defense, as Jess said earlier.
Now facing Carson Gordon, the first baseman. Had a home run yesterday, the junior out of Miami. Seminoles, champs of the ACC for the 6th year in a row. They are the first Atlantic Coast Conference team to reach the finals in the 37-year history of this tournament.
And that's what's going to be interesting to see what calls that Gabby Plain gets, because for Florida State, the idea is to try to get her to elevate in the zone. She's known for that drop ball, and if she's getting calls like the last one at the knees, there's going to have to be some adjustments for Florida State.
Missed that drop low, 2-1. Had an extra inning home run in the Supers after they lost Game 1 to LSU. They rallied to win 2 elimination games just to get here to Oklahoma City. And then had another big home run yesterday against UCLA. The grounder to Sis Bates. 2 down. Here comes Sydney Sherrill. This was what she did Saturday night against Oregon. The second game they had to win Saturday, and then a couple of games they had to win Sunday over UCLA, and she did it again. The ACC Freshman of the Year, who has won high school state championships on this field, and now trying to get a collegiate one. Good enough to be named 3rd team All-America this season. And Sherrill has had a hit in every World Series game so far. Another grounder to Bates, and mishandled it short. And Sis will try and shrug it off, but a surprise for softball fans that have been watching this tournament all week.
We just opened with the fact that this team is known for their defense, and they have to have their defense. Why? Because Gabby Plain is going to get a lot of these ground balls, and for Sis Bates, so uncharacteristic. The ball jumps up late.
And just a second error of the World Series for UW.
Only the 4th all year for Bates, and a base runner. But Van Zee will quickly erase that threat. E6, but otherwise Florida State down in the top of the first. Washington coming up. Back here in Oklahoma City, the Unicorns are out for the Washington Huskies, who come up here in the bottom of the first. The starting lineup brought to you by Capital One. And how about the 1-2 punch of Taylor Van Zee and Sis Bates right at the top? An NCAA tournament batting average of .480 for Taylor, with 6 runs scored, 8 runs driven in their 8 games. And right there behind her, Sis Bates has reached in 19 straight games. Both of these two have a hit in all 3 of their wins here so far at the Women's College World Series. Out there in the circle, Megan King, and the early lefty-lefty matchups. She'll see 6 of them in the lineup today. Getting the start because of her composure, and a 2-0 record so far in Oklahoma City. Has not allowed an earned run, striking out 22 in 21 innings pitched. And they're having some issues, it looks like, with the mask that she wears while she's in the circle. So that'll give us a chance to look at the scouting report for Megan King.
Megan King, the lefty, has had a great postseason. Why? Because of her ability to ride the pitch into righties, away from lefties. It's a rise ball, a curve ball, and a drop ball that falls off the table. Those 3 pitches dominating. But she also mentioned her changeup. It showed up here at the Women's College World Series, and she was ecstatic about that. If she can use that to keep Washington off balance, it's going to be huge. But Washington has 6 lefties in the lineup, so that's going to bode very well for the left-handed Megan King.
I guess they had a backup mask out in the bullpen. They've got one on. She says, whatever, let's do this. It's only the national championship opener here. We got this. She's also got some history on her side that I know Michelle Smith will enjoy. Little lefty love, Smitty.
Lefty love.
In the last decade, we've seen 4 left-handers here win the national championship. And Megan King would love to join that sorority. Taylor Van Zee, the senior Californian. Puts the ball in play, one of the toughest to strike out in the Pac-12 this year, as has been the case throughout her career. Fouls out one straight back, 1-1. About that, just 16K and 403 at-bats over the last couple of years.
Over 30 walks to just the 9 coming into the World Series strikeouts. And that swing right there, that last one, you know, she has power, but she'll go and mostly divert to the contact. I mean, she has a swing that's very short, very simple, and her hand-eye coordination, that's why she doesn't strike out a lot. She can pretty much put anything she wants in play. And then every now and then she'll buckle up and send one over the fence, but
9 of those on the season for Taylor. The Huskies leading the resurgence of the Pac-12 Conference, which has won 23 of the 36 national championships, but have not taken one back to the West Coast in 6 years. And the Pac-12 had half the field here in Oklahoma City, and Washington surviving into the final. Right back to King, scoop to first, 1 down. They started out the year 28-0 and spent 9 weeks ranked #1 in the country, and then ran into UCLA and Oregon and got smoked. Lost 6 in a row. And amongst other things, a few words that we can't repeat on the air, Heather Tarr said, it made us angry. Yeah. Because we were on national TV for all those, and we wanted to show America what we were capable of, and we weren't up to the challenge. And that's what they worked their way back from the last month of the season. And that pain that they felt has been beneficial in their development.
They said it first thing this morning. It was a blessing in disguise. It toughened them up.
Sis Bates, 2-0.
And the sport is always about timing, whether or not you're hitting or you're pitching. When you're losing, you got to lose at the right time, and you got to win, most importantly, at the most important times.
Bates to short. Callie Harrod, 2 down. Something of note, by the way, they are undefeated against non-Pac-12 teams this year, 37-0. All their losses, Oregon, UCLA, and Arizona State. So if Florida State can get them, they'd be the first non-conference foe to do it. This is Julia DuPont, who's been terrific in the 3 spot in the order here in the postseason. Here's what she did in their win yesterday. And this is off of Paige Parker in a must-win situation for the Sooners, and DuPont was having none of it. That's their lone long ball of this tournament. They have been cobbling together hits. They've got tremendous speed to put pressure on you. They got some short gamers.
And they execute well. They take the extra 60 feet. They have productive outs.
They were knocking it around in the regular season. Haven't relied upon it as much in the post. King misses high, 2-2. Megan is the junior out of Parkland, Florida. 3 20-win seasons on her resume. This is her 2nd World Series. She pitched here back in 2016, and she's another one that learned from the losses. It didn't go well for Megan the first time here, and she has been nails so far in this World Series.
Yeah, I loved her honesty. It's like, I had to be better. I was afraid, and it's like I learned from that.
2-2 to DuPont.
DuPont having a good battle right now. She, we talked about Van Zee, Sis Bates, more contact, not a lot of strikeouts. DuPont will get her Ks, and that's because she has the power. You saw the home run, and she's okay with the swing and miss. Washington's okay with that, the risk of the fact that she can knock the ball out the park. But that last 2-strike swing, and I like that here in Oklahoma City. Seeing big power hitters shorten up a little bit with 2 strikes, knowing, hey, you got Megan King in the circle. No reason to take a big, huge cut with 2 strikes.
2-2 to DuPont, full count. And the shot to Warren, a third. She's got it, side retired. Neither side can punch through in the first to the second in Champ Series, Game 1.
Well, a big reason that Washington is here in the championship series is because of their amazing defense that they've been playing here at the World Series. Particularly the left side, the shortstop, Sis Bates, and the third baseman, Taylor Van Zee, have been unstoppable this World Series. And there's a good reason. Heather Tarr has a recruiting philosophy. She recruits all-around multi-sport athletes. She played many things when she was growing up, so she looks for the same thing in her athletes, whether it's football, basketball, soccer, volleyball, snowboarding, you name it. She wants athletes that can make those plays and be overall athletes on the field. We have seen that from their defense. It's been nearly impossible to get a ball past them on the outfield. And all those great catches out in right field by Tristan Melhart, there's a good reason. She was a gymnast for 5 years, so there's a reason she's in the air getting to all of those fly balls.
Oh, I love those photos too, and you just see watching them make the plays that they've been able to make, and this is something, a testament to the entire defense, but Van Zee and Sis Bates are the stars of this team, not just because of the bat, but the D. Holly, I love it, and honestly, bringing back the photos.
Danny Morgan here, 5, 6, and 7 in the Florida State lineup. And it's been critical, really, for Van Zee and Bates, especially to take over the leadership role. Remember, they lost Morgan Flores to a preseason ACL injury. She was penciled in as their starting catcher. They are relying on a freshman behind the plate in Emma Helm. And this infield has had to come together quickly. Helm will let that one bounce foul. And she really looks a lot to that left side. Has settled in nicely out of Linwood, Washington. It will be interesting to see, though, if the Seminoles can get some base runners, if they can run on her.
9 stolen bases here in Oklahoma City, so when they get on base, they will try to swipe them.
Florida State, one of the best in the country, stolen bases this year. Morgan, 231 on the season, 313, however, here at the World Series. Five different players have hit a home run. All 9 players have driven in a run. 8 of them have scored so far in Oklahoma City. And they're averaging 6 runs per game here. For Lonnie Alameda, now in her 10th season. You know, they had only 8 wins in their 9 previous trips here before this week, and now 4 wins in 2 days. And a longtime friend of her counterpart, Heather Tarr, in the opposite dugout. 0-2 to Morgan. Got her first strikeout for playing one down.
Gabby Plain likes to throw a lot of drop balls. This is a curve that she's just going to run away from Morgan. Little bit of a step to the side and then rips it across her body. You can see the follow through of the arm comes around and down. It's that late sharp movement on that curve.
Zoe Casas. Zoe's been outstanding here at the World Series. The junior from Rialto, California. .429 batting average with 5 ribbies in their 5 games. Takes a look at a strike, 1-1.
Gabby Plain is just so consistent for being a freshman, just their ability to come into this moment.
Yep.
It's incredible.
6-0 in this postseason run after Taryn Alvello, who was the ace, got hurt about a month ago. Casas lifts it to left. Julia DuPont 2 down. Alvello has since returned, so they've got a good 1-2 punch, but Plain, who, oh, by the way, has only thrown internationally where you can leap, right, Smitty?
Correct.
She's had to learn how to drag.
And she's worked very hard on it. She's changed her motion quite a bit. Last 13 games, she's done the lion's share of the pitching because of that rib injury to Taryn Alvello, who is now healthier and excited to be able to get out there and sling the ball like she does. But they're a great mix as well, yeah. Beth and Jess. I mean, Alvello is hard up. Gabby's hard down with some off speed, a little bit of wiggle. I like that 2-seam drop that she throws. A lot of Americans don't see that. That's a heavy pitch down in Australia.
Yes, and it's the heaviness of the drop. So even when you make contact, because it's got that late hard break to it versus just kind of a slower, you have no choice but to pound it into the ground, or a lot of times into your foot.
It is hard to elevate. Florida State talked about that they want to elevate it. It's tough to do. So the adjustments, what do you typically do, Jess? For me, I would move to the front of the box or really angle down into it and reverse the spin.
I would make her bring it up. And it sounds like such a simple thing to do, but I would look belt and above. Yeah. So either then you're going to swing at her rise or her curve.
2-0 to Callie Herod.
Herod in the back of the box.
Right.
And the reason for that is usually lay off of it. So if, like I was talking about my game plan, if I want to lay off the drop, I get in the back of the box. So that way you see that hard late break and you say, nuh-uh, I don't want any part of that. And then you can tell the ones usually that are going to go the other way that are more hittable.
And so the challenge when you go to the front of the box is the timing of it. You're challenging the pitcher to change their release point so they can make it drop earlier, which is really, really difficult to do, but you're more susceptible to the changeup when you go to the front of the box. So if the pitcher has a good changeup, you got to be really, really careful on that.
3-1 count for Callie. May get something to look at here with 2 outs in the top of the second. She thought it was ball 4, looked away, but
I'd go right
count.
back there. This is a ball, it's off the plate, and if she can get this called, you see the location, almost the chalk of the other batter's box. If I'm Gabby playing in Washington, go back away, see if you'll get a chase.
They do. Foul down the line.
Yeah, and a little bit of love for Emma Helm, the left-handed catcher. When on that outside pitch, it's really easy for her to pull it back into the zone.
You don't see a lot of left-handed catchers, although softball, you see it a lot more than baseball. We've had Olympic left-handed catchers, Michelle Venturella, Jenny Topping.
Jenny Topping, who started her career at UW before she moved on to Cal State Fullerton.
Another 3-2 pitch to Herod. Goes up for it, and that's foul down the left field line. Callie, one of the 5 home run hitters yesterday in the 2 games against UCLA. And they beat the National Player of the Year, Rachel Garcia, to get here. And the strikeout for Plain. That's her second. Scoreless here in OKC. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Huskies.
The Unicorns are unique, and it's something special to Washington. Each one of our players has special, unique qualities.
We're really diverse, and there's so many good things about this team. That's kind of where that came from.
Yeah, the Unicorns, a big part of the travel party here for the Washington Huskies. It came from a mentor and a friend of Heather Tarr's, the former basketball coach at Pacific when Heather was there as a softball coach, Alan Major. She had him come and watch the team earlier this year, and that's the line that he had. You got a bunch of unicorns here. A lot of unique personalities that are gonna perhaps take a little time to come together, and that was the case. They had to work through some things during the year, get all the parts and pieces to fit. As you know, that can be a challenge when you've got a lot of young women in the room that are all competitive and all want to play, and the Unicorns all did.
And you know what I love?
Yeah,
what I love about that, that's the management of the team. We talk about the coaching, the X's, the O's, the swings, the pitches, but that's managing people.
Yeah.
Women, 20 of them. For a year.
I got my hands full with 3. Here's the 1-2 pitch, and it's popped up by Kirsten Thomas. 1 down. Megan King facing 4, 5, and 6. When we talked to Lonnie Alameda, it was a similar discussion. You've got 2 aces, really, on both of these staffs. They both want the ball, and they both want to do what's best for the team. So how do you figure out the right mix? Who starts what days? Who faces the studs on the other team?
And they straight up clashed. I mean, and to be honest, I loved hearing that. And Beth, you had set it up, and we met with them today, and you're like, don't you want that ball? You've asked that question to so many pitchers that have been here in Oklahoma City. It's always like, no, I mean, I'm just supportive of my teammates, and whoever, gets the ball that day, that's fine. And to hear Megan King say, yeah, I want the ball. And in fact, when Kylie Hansen got here, it was difficult. I was excited she was here to help this team, but then she was really good, and I'm competitive, and I want it too. And gosh, it's refreshing to hear that, because at the end of the day, that's what this game is about. You want to win, but you also want to compete. And if you use it correctly, which they had to figure it out, once they did, they pushed each other, and that's really ultimately why they're here right now.
Yeah, Lonnie Alameda said that was like the turning point for Megan King. She actually threw better when she accepted that.
We'll said it out loud.
Yeah.
Instead of to her teammates behind their back.
Yeah.
Went right up to Kylie Hansen and said, look.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time with this. She's been ripping.
And that's what's happened since that conversation. 9-0 in her last 12 appearances.
And there's such a great look. That's the other part of it, as she gets another strikeout, is her ability to really rip the ball from the left side. Hansen's from the right side. So Megan King, the lefty, can throw a lot of different pitches. This is a drop ball on the outside corner. It's going to be important for a little bit of rotation. You can see the way she peels it off.
Well, and how it looks like a ball out of the hand. And that's one of the more difficult things. You'll see it on the left side of this plate. So right now to the lefty, she's throwing it away, but when she throws to the left side of the plate, whether it's a righty or lefty in the box, a lot of times it's gonna look like a ball out of the hand and then come back over the plate, whether it's her drop or her curveball.
0-1 to Emma Helm. You guys talk so much of this is either trying to find it out of the hand, right, or trying to find where it's going to break halfway to the plate, because the really good ones can keep it in that tunnel as long as possible before you can pick up which way it's going to go.
Yeah, every great pitcher throws a pitch that looks like a ball and either explodes through the zone, gets in and out of the zone as quick as possible. And that's how you bait hitters into swinging at balls that look like strikes, or strikes, watching strikes that look like balls.
Tried to get her to chase one there that looked like a strike, ended out of the zone, 2-2.
And a lot of the spinny greats are the ones that do that. Kat Osterman is the first one that comes to mind. Her ability to throw pitches that you thought, no, that's a ball, and whoop, it was a strike. Yeah, you have to make adjustments. When you're just hitting off velocity, you never really have to make that adjustment because you know they're just trying to blow it through the zone.
We've seen fireballers win here. We've seen Taryn Mowat win with the changeup here. We've seen Megan Langenfeld win with the inside screwball here. But most have to come with a repertoire and mix it up. And the count goes 3-2 to Helm. And Helm draws the walk. It's the first base runner for the Huskies. We are underway in the Champ Series here in Oklahoma City. Game 2 is coming your way tomorrow at 8 Eastern, and since it's best 2 out of 3, we might see you back here on Wednesday as well, if necessary, at 8:30 Eastern. Florida State looking for its first national championship, first time they've been to the finals. And Washington, their first time back here since they won the title in 2009. Under the direction of Heather Tarr, who was also an alum and played in the World Series in 1996. They were runners-up again in 1999. Five different Pac-12 teams have won national championships, including the Huskies.
I love how she's constantly next to the dugout, too. She's picking up stuff, communicating, and that's the player in her. Right now, talking on deck to Melhart. Just keeping that flow going. A lot of times you're isolated over there in the box, but she's such a team-oriented coach.
Just foul. It looked like Warren was going to try and make a play to scoop and throw to first. It certainly appeared to be inside the line, is what Heather Tarr is wondering.
The confusion can sometimes be because Warren was outside, but it's where the ball is.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yep, got it right.
And she tips it, and then it comes back inside, which...
So back into the box for Taryn Atlee. Atlee out to left center, and coming on to make the catch is Danny Morgan. A walk, one left on. We are scoreless, 2 complete in game 1 of the Champ Series. The Women's College World Series in Oklahoma City with old friends Heather Tarr and Lonnie Alameda. It's the Noles and the Huskies for the championship trophy. nobody enjoys elimination games like the Florida State Seminoles. And they know how to have a good time when they've got to put it all on the line. And they've been doing it for the last 3 days here at the Women's College World Series. They've been doing it for the last 2 weeks. 6 wins when facing elimination. And it's all about having a good time until it's ready to step into the batter's box, and then the laser-like focus turns on, and they go to work.
Well, they play so relaxed, and they enjoy the game, but it's interesting because it's different. When you think back to how the game was always played, there was a level of seriousness. You didn't see the goofing around and the braiding hair and even as much of the cheers. And now, Florida State especially exemplifies where the game is now. And the players, the type of players that enjoy and how they play the game now. Lonnie Alameda told us before the game, she said, look, I tell them 15 minutes of softball, because the amount of focus that you're in the box or the ball's hit to you, that's what we need, is those 15 minutes added up.
It is 8, 9, and 1 in the order. Morgan Claveman to lead things off here in the top of the third. This was their bus ride, and keep in mind, they've never taken this ride before. Never been in the finals. Focused on some dance moves.
Yeah, they got the dancing going.
They're scared. They're intimidated. And that's who they are.
Flip the switch, though, when they get between the chalk lines.
Claveman, that's inside the bag at third, and a base hit for Morgan.
And the defensive configuration for UW is they're pulled way up. Why? Because Claveman is fast. And look at the defense. Look at how far up the middles are, but also the corners. So this ball can get ripped right down the line, and that's exactly what Morgan Claveman does. She gets a pitch that she can rip past Taylor Van Zee. That's not an easy job, but because they're so pulled in, she can punch it past them.
It's her understanding the defense and reading it.
The number 9 hitter, it's not your average 9 hitter. It's Elizabeth Mason swinging through it. The throw goes all the way out to center field, and they will test the arm of the freshman catcher Emma Helm Claveman all the way to third. Stolen base, E2. Then a runner in scoring position.
Well, Helm way off the mark on this. She comes up, you can just tell she holds on to it for too long. She has really struggled throwing out base runners this year. Florida State knows it. They are going to keep their foot on the gas pedal when they get on base with their speedsters.
Well, there's been no attempts this World Series, so her arm has not been tested here, which is a different case. You got your adrenaline going, clearly there, knowing the speed.
4th best in the country with 147 stolen bases this year. That's their 10th of this World Series. Mason took a swing, by the way, for the strike, but also made sure the bat was out there for the freshman left-hander to have to kind of work around.
And so what the batter tries to do is keep the bat path in the eyes of the catcher so they get a slower read on the jump. And Helm, that was the 24th steal off her this year. She's only thrown out 2 base runners.
With a cover by Mason right at eye level.
Yeah, not even close to the ball.
And that's a called sign when you get it as a hitter that she's going to steal, and so you just swing late on purpose. Sacrifice the strike to get your runner.
Now can she get her in? 1-2 from Plain. Pops her up infield. This won't do it. 1 down. Top of the order, and Jessie Warren.
You know, and this is the best hitter in this lineup, and even though there's only 1 out and there's some good hitters following her, you got to be really careful here because there's so many ways they can score this run. With the pop of Warren, infield pulled in, a hard ground ball.
Warren goes up after the rise, and another infield pop-up, 2 down. Not the A-B that Jessie was looking for.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's, oh, I can feel Lonnie Alameda right now. I mean, you get your leadoff batter on, you get her to third base, so many ways to score her. And you got your best hitter up there swinging at the first pitch, up in the zone. That's tough.
That's their 4th flyout so far of the game. Plain has thrown a ton of ground outs so far in the tournament. One of those off the bat of Carson Gordon, her first AB.
And how about Gabby Plain? She's down, she's down. Runner on third, you're thinking, I want to keep the ball down because I want my defense to be able to field a ground ball. I don't want the sacrifice fly. What does she do? She induces 2 pop-ups. She uses a rise ball. She's not known as a rise ball pitcher. Those are some impressive strikes in some big situations with her rise ball.
Nibbles outside, 0-2. She was telling us today she's got to be good hitting her spots and hitting her heights, as they say in Australia. And she hit her heights on that pitch to Jessie Warren. And then takes a little off for strike 3. Runner stranded at third for Florida State as Plain works out of it.
The Aussie normally throws that drop ball that falls off the table, but no, she says, I'm going to use my rise ball. That 4-seam coming up in the zone, the big strikeout to get out of the inning. Banzi loving it.
No, that's a big showdown of unbeatens, and we've got game 1 of the Champ Series right here in OKC, Florida State and Washington. Let's check in with Holly Rowe.
Well, speaking of throwing punches, it's ironically been a great theme of Florida State since they got here to the Women's College World Series. You know, they have had to play out their way out of the losers bracket, and so they've had a lot of extra games, 4 games in 48 hours that they were possibly going to be eliminated. Coach Lonnie Alameda just kept telling them over and over, just keep throwing punches, keep throwing punches. At some point, the opponent will fail to get up. They feel like they just don't know how to quit. If they keep throwing punches, they have a chance to win it all.
They lost a lot from last year's team, Holly, with not just the numbers, but their leadership, their voices. And Lonnie Alameda was telling us, you know, usually we have a hashtag, we have a theme. And early in the season, it was hashtag IDK. I don't know who we are just yet. And it was a process for them to kind of find themselves throughout the course of the season, sort of brought them together, all hands on deck. We all have to play a role. And they tested themselves with a really tough non-conference schedule to prepare for the World Series.
I think their hashtag should be WCWS.
Herod charges, but the speed, too much for Tristan Melhart, and the leadoff is on. We'll come up later tonight on ESPN. It's Monday Night Baseball from San Francisco. The D-backs kicking off a 3-game series with the Giants, 10 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Infield hit for Tristan Melhart, and the number 9 hitter Kelly Burdick will step in. Looking to drop down the sacrifice. Senior from Salem, Oregon. 333 in the postseason. She lays down a good one. Warren the out to first. And the sacrifice moves Melhart over. And their first runner in scoring position tonight. Top of the order. And Taylor Van Zee. Grounded right back to the pitcher in the first inning. Now Megan King wants to get the infield together. King running that meeting. She was fussing around with her armband there that has the pitches on it.
She's always smiling. Got a big grin on her face.
Just gave a thumbs up over to the dugout.
Well, I think with a runner on second base now, just making sure everyone's on the same page. Set up behind the plate isn't giving away anything.
Van Zee back up the middle. Harrod able to knock it down and at least keep it in the infield. But runners on the corners for Washington with one down. And the infield hit for Van Zee.
To protect the short game and the bunt possibility, Harrod was pulled way over to the 5-6 hole because of that. Allowed for the infield hit that was basically in regular positioning, would have been an out.
Sis Bates, the sophomore from Sirius, California, and a member of the U.S. national team over the summer. Took a sociology final exam this afternoon and now trying to drive in a run here in the Champ Series. Washington on the quarter system, so they have several players that have been taking finals this week.
Well, they said it was a distraction, both good and bad, but you know, when they needed a little bit of a distraction, they'd watch softball. When they needed a little distraction from the studies, yeah, they were having it each way.
Well, they had a little free time coming out of the winners bracket. They played Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Student athlete, I
That's
love
right.
it. And honestly, how the excitement. I mean, sitting there talking to Sis Bates about championship game, and she's amped for the final. She's like, sociality of murder, first degree murder, and second degree, and all these different things. She was explaining it, and I love it. It's not like she's sitting there, I gotta go take some final I know nothing about.
Yeah, she's an overachiever. Yes, everything she does, she wants to do well.
Couple of singles in the inning for Washington. Their first threat of the night. Van Zee will go ahead and take second base unchallenged. So Sis can drive in a couple here.
Right now, Sis Bates crowding the plate a little bit more. Within this at-bat, the adjustments. This is what you talk about. This is like the veteran knowledge. She's got that left foot right on the line. This is because Megan King going so much more away with that curveball.
And it hits base, and they are loaded for the Huskies.
And she couldn't get more on the line, almost out of the box. That's how much she was crowding. Megan King trying to back her off a little bit by coming inside, but when you see the replay, you're gonna see there's not a lot of room for her to go. And this look doesn't show it as well as from center field, where that pitch is gonna come.
And I'm surprised.
And the lack of room that there is between her and home plate.
We talk about it all the time. There's nowhere to miss on the inside corner. So as a pitcher, you can run a ball out of the zone much better than you can on the inside corner. I'm surprised they chose that location to go back to on a 1-2 count.
So we're told from down on the field, Washington has been voicing some concern to the umpires that Megan King, her rhythm is too fast. She's trying to fast pitch here, and the umpire told her to slow it down right there. It's strike one on DuPont.
Well, as soon as the batter gets in the box, you can go. But, you know, that kind of bothers me just because you know that as a batter, you call timeout. You can put your hand up as you get in the box, but as soon as that foot right there gets in, she can go. It's not illegal to quick pitch.
King on the outside corner, 0-2. Bases loaded, one out. The infield is in for FSU. Down and away, 1-2. "17 hits, 10 of them extra." And look at the RBI production.
4 home runs in the last 13 games. She's got pop.
Hit one yesterday. Fouled back into the screen.
You can see the rhythm, though. These Washington batters, they are late. And a lot of that is the pace right now of Megan King. And this is fast. And we've seen some slow pace pitchers take their time, take a deep breath. Rachel Garcia, an example of that. But right now, DuPont gets into that batter's box. You can tell she's trying to take her time to get settled. But King ready to fire.
And what allows King to do this is her quick pre-motion.
Strikeout Megan King, 2 down. Jammed her up and in. Second strikeout for Megan.
Well, and because she doesn't have a lot of that pre-motion, she can be very quick to get the ball and get rid of it. Look at that. She just tucks in and immediately goes. Rise ball up in the zone.
She's in attack mode right now. Really doing a good job with the right side of that plate, that glove side, away to lefties, in to these righties.
She's matched up with the number 4 hitter, Kirsten Thomas, who is just 1 for 10 so far at the World Series. Senior out of Houston had that one hit yesterday in the win over Oklahoma. And you've got Melhart at third, Van Zee at second, Sis Bates at first.
She, of all hitters in this lineup, has the biggest potential of power. As you mentioned, she's struggled, but when she gets a hold of it.
And Megan King overpowers her there. Washington leaves them loaded. Back-to-back Ks for Megan King to shut it down. 3 complete were scoreless here in OKC. Holly Rowe coming back with Heather Tarr as Megan King strands 3 Huskies to keep it scoreless.
On Strikeout Cancer Night, you've got someone you're remembering here. You're going to bat for. Why is that?
Angie Mentink, former All-American for us.
Wonderful. Well, Coach, I know that the last inning there, Megan King is going really fast in the circle. How are you guys got to get on time a little bit better with your batters?
Yeah, it just got to figure it out, you know. I mean, we talk about it, and I think they know, but when you experience it, it's kind of like, okay, and then, you know, you can make your adjustment the next time, but you want to make it before you have to make it.
You know, we keep talking about how steady Gabby Plain is, but this is all still new for her. You know, she's taking finals. Now here she is starting in the World Series. How do you see her settling in right now?
I think she's doing a great job. You know, what a great opportunity for our program, for someone like Gabby Plain to have an opportunity to face a great team in Florida State.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this was Gabby at work in that 3rd inning.
Using pitches up in the zone when traditionally you would think she's going to go down, induces some pop-ups, changes eye levels with a runner at 3rd, and then picks up the big strikeout at the end of the inning, all with the rise ball, Jess.
Smitty, that's the whole point. Florida State, we talked to them before the game. We want to see the ball up because in their mind, she's going to come down, and when she comes up, it's going to be fat. Gabby Plain playing the chess game, and her up pitches, that rise, unhittable so far.
And what a run. 22 innings in a row without giving up an earned run for Gabby Plain. To the top of the 4th we go. And it's Sydney Sherrill fouling off the first pitch. 3, 4, and 5. Sherrill reached on an error in the first. She's hit a couple of home runs and driven in 7 in front of the home crowd here in Oklahoma. Grew up just down the street, about 10-15 minutes away to the south of here in Moore. She's had a hit every game here so far. They were expecting big things right out of the gate because Sydney's first at-bat, she tattooed and it left the yard, and she has not looked back.
A lot of power in this Florida State lineup, but when you can get a freshman to come in and hit like that immediately, especially at the World Series, it's a game changer.
And what I love the fact that, you know, she leads the NCAA in doubles, and you guys have talked about, and not home runs. And if you watch her, she's not trying to crush the ball. She's got great hands, and she just trusts those hands. And because of that, she doesn't let her whole body get into swings. And that's what allows her to really have a better average and hit more doubles and home runs.
She's reached 15 games in a row, and out there and left, DuPont able to run it down. 1 out.
Nice read by DuPont out and left. This ball kind of dying and coming down. Gabby Plain. We talked about it in the open. These pitchers love the confidence. You see the smiles because of the D behind them.
And a Shelnutt. Sophomore from Franklin, Georgia. And what a moment for her and her teammate, Callie Herod. They went to high school together, started at Heard County, and now playing together at Florida State, trying to bring home a national championship. Common theme, of course, around the softball world, whether it's high school teammates or even more prevalent, your travel ball teammates that you either hook up with again in college or you square off against them at the World Series. The best tend to run together. Three and 0 to Anna Shelnutt.
That last pitch, a changeup. That's the pitch that's going to be important for Gabby Plain to figure out to use throughout this game. We talk about the power of Florida State. You take it away by throwing the pitch low and slow. One of those two combinations.
And ball four, the third base runner for the Seminoles tonight. Let's send it down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Gabby Plain came a long way to pitch for Washington from Australia. She grew up pitching with the international rules, which allowed you to get your foot off the ground, kind of leap into the air. So she has had to completely reteach herself how to pitch in the last year that she's been here at Washington. She said it has been the hardest thing of her life. And one way that she's overcoming it is she's really slow in this pre-pitch windup. You'll see she's very methodical. She learned some of her windup from watching boys baseball players in Australia, and then she really goes slow at the top of her windup. You'll see her extend both arms over her head, and she said that overhead motion helps me settle down into my feet, let gravity settle down that back drag foot. And she's like, when I'm big at the top, my foot stays down in the pitch. You'll see it right here.
Facing Danny Morgan, the runner goes, Helms throw in the dirt, the tag by Bates, but it's late. Deja Bush, the pinch runner, into scoring position.
Emma Helm having a hard time already this game. Everything is going to the right, but watch this ball get a good hop and almost kind of cut right back in to Sis Bates to almost get the runner out. She is safe. But right now, we're going to see Florida State continue to run until Helm can figure it out behind the plate, throwing runners out.
Second stolen base for Florida State.
And Holly, back to your point about Gabby Plain, it is very difficult to make those adjustments. And Gabby has done a really good job of making those adjustments in her freshman year here.
Well, Glasso wants to go out and check on Gabby, who has now thrown 6 balls in a row.
Take a look again at the throw. Bush does a nice job of just getting her foot under the tag.
The tag's actually from behind, ironically.
Yeah.
So the way that
look at Sis Bates. Look at her. Arms on her. Really?
On her hips. Love it. Fire.
Yep. They're not competitive. Nope. Michelle, to your point, though, with Gabby, it's cool to see her be able to make that adjustment, because Kelly Barnhill, another pitcher that struggled with illegal pitches.
At Florida, yeah.
And to know that she's done this her whole entire life. Made an effort, does it with a smile, a great accent. Just keep my back foot down.
That is 7 consecutive balls thrown by Plain. Talking to herself a little bit in the circle. Heather Tarr gave her the ball today because she said she's proved to be capable in these big moments to handle this. And there's a strike with Danny Morgan taking all the way. Missed it wide left. Back-to-back free passes for the freshman. She only threw 9 balls the first 3 innings, and now 10 in this inning.
Florida State being very selective, not doing Gabby Plain any favors in this inning. They have swung at a lot of pitches out of the zone. They've become more disciplined. Second time through the lineup, they are making adjustments and making Gabby Plain come into the zone.
Zoe Casas been driving in runs this entire World Series for Florida State. This is the second time they've had a runner in scoring position tonight. Casas takes a look at strike 1.
And Emma Helm wants to go out and talk to Gabby Plain because that pitch was supposed to be a little bit more outside, and it was a little sweet over the white part of the plate. And I think making sure their signs are together.
How about the trust, by the way, of Heather Tarr and this coaching staff? Let's let a freshman throw to a freshman here in Game 1 of the Champ Series. Well, they've been doing it all year long. They've answered the call after an injury to their starting catcher, an injury to their starting pitcher, and they have both stepped up. And they're being called upon again right here. Florida State putting some pressure on. Casas, a little flare out to left. DuPont's got it, and the runners will not be able to advance 2 down.
Florida State 0 for 4 with runners on. You've got to give credit to Gabby Plain. Even though she's walked 2 batters in a row, she's been able to get her outs when she's needed them with runners on.
Callie Harrod in the 7 spot, struck out on a drop ball in the second. It's a Florida State team used to nail biters, facing elimination time and time again. They've played extras. They've lost big leads. Yesterday, they came back late in their first game against UCLA with a 3-run home run from Elizabeth Mason. One-0 to Harrod.
And this Florida State team, they have scored 24 of their 30 runs from the 4th inning on. So not only have they been in elimination games, they've been late. They've been playing deep into games. It's really incredible.
A testament to their perseverance, their determination.
How relaxed they stay. It's the time you start pressing.
Helm tried to frame it. 2-1. "15 of the 29 ribs have come with a couple of outs. 9 of them yesterday. Two-one pitch with 2 outs here. Two and two.
And I love Emma Helm behind the plate. She's talking to the umpire, Terry Holt, and just wanting that last pitch prior to the foul ball. And just a freshman, but knows the importance of talking, okay, Blue, where do you want us to put that? And you can, just a little bit of conversation going on. Watch my pitcher. She's going to throw that drop, but it might cut back into the zone. Tell him what you want him to see as a catcher.
Straight back.
You talk about pitchers painting the corners. Well, the catchers need to paint the mind of the umpire. Paint the picture they want the umpire to see on the pitches. It's an important part of the game. And trust me, as a pitcher, I had the best catchers in the game that got me more strikes probably than I deserved. But they painted that picture for the umpire.
Like 2-2 the help.
Yeah. Misses outside, 3-2.
Gabby Plain is yet to come inside to Harrod in this at bat. And as we saw Washington start to slowly crowd. I want to start to see Florida State start to pick a side, because Plain right now is kind of stuck with one side of the plate or the other.
Bit of a struggle here in the 4th for Plain. 3-2, 2 outs. Runners will be on the move.
Great adjustment. I love it. Go with 5 consecutive pitches away, away, away. A couple that were up in the zone. And Herod now with 2 strikes, thinking away, comes back in, and this is a beautiful pitch. Barely clips it. That's a strikeout by a centimeter.
8th pitch of this at-bat for Herod. Missed it low. Bases are loaded. Third walk of the inning. And a terrific at-bat by Callie Herod. And that'll bring up Morgan Claveman. The senior struggled through the NCAA tournament, hitting better here at the World Series.
And something's definitely up with Gabby Plain. She had just 38 walks coming into tonight's game in her entire season. She's got 3 in this inning. You can tell she looks a little uncomfortable just by her body language.
Claveman the slapper, the infield is in, the outfield is in. Swings through it, 1-1. Good speed on the bases too for Florida State.
You're not going to see power from Claveman, you're going to see placement. She got to hit her last at bat because she placed the ball by Taylor Van Zee down the line. She'll read where the defense is. Beth, you mentioned it, infield pulled way in. She's going to run through the box. Not take any kind of hack, just try to place the ball perfectly.
She has their lone hit of the night so far. 2-1. Got her outside, 2-2. Had a chance in the third, left the runner stranded at third base. Loaded up here in the 4th. Trying to grab the lead in game 1 of the Champ Series. Full count, that one got away from Plain.
I think she should try to go up and away. That strike 2 that she got called, Claveman wanted no part of it. She can get that called again and go right back there.
29th pitch of the inning. Chop to Bates, and the tag applied to the runner coming by her as she got Danny Morgan for the 3rd out. And in time to prevent the run from scoring. Bases left loaded. We'll hear from head coach Lonnie Alameda when we come back.
Sis Bates, so quick, so smooth, gets down to the knee, makes the play, the tag, and the emotion. Going back to the dugout to pick up the bat.
Coach, you got a lot of walks in that last inning. What changed with your approach at the plate? What are you trying to make Gabby Plain do?
We're trying to get her to bring the ball up in the zone. She's got a good little drop ball, mixing speeds really well. So we want to get something in the zone that we can do some damage with, you know. So also being very selective, you know, making sure she throws those strikes. She's starting to nibble around the plate a little bit. So we want something up, you know, and make her throw strikes.
Okay, 27 of her plays have been ground outs, though, coming into this game tonight. Now you guys are popping the ball up. So even if you want that up pitch, though, you keep popping it up. So how do you make that adjustment?
Yeah, we got to make sure that we can get some. I mean, she's a little off speeds too, right? So, you know, it's going to be one swing, and that's going to be both teams right now, where we're fighting to one run right now. So, you know, we got to let the ball travel a little bit, make sure we hit the opposite side of the field. You know, we got to hit the opposite field right now, and that's kind of what we talked about earlier in our scouting plans.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Holly. Scoreless, the Noles and the Huskies as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Beautiful night here in Oklahoma City. Beth Mowens, Jessica Mendoza, Michelle Smith, and Holly Rowe. Game 1, best 2 out of 3 for the national championship. Game 2 will be back here tomorrow night. Importance of winning game 1. 10 of the previous 13 winners of game 1 have gone on to win the national championship. 5 times we've had a 3-game series. There have been 5 extra inning games in the Champ Series, including a year ago, game 1, 17 innings. Oklahoma beating Florida. And for those of you scoring at home as well, in the 13 years, the Pac-12 6-2 in the finals. That includes UCLA's win over Arizona in 2010. And we've got some new blood here in the Champ Series. For the first time in 8 years, Florida or Oklahoma has not made it to the finals. An incredible run for those 2 programs. They shared the last 5 national championships, 3 for OU and 2 for Florida. And this year, the Noles looking for their first title, the Huskies for their second. 5, 6, and 7 here.
King with some zip on that last rise ball. And Beth, you talked about the tunneling that allows pitchers to be effective. One of the hardest things to do as a pitcher, Smitty knows this, is to make every pitch look the same out of the hand and then have them change direction after the hitter decides where they're going to go.
That's the 3rd strikeout in a row for Megan King. Gave her 4 on the night. 1 down.
And this is what Megan King looks like in that tunnel that you're talking about. So you see the pitch out of the hand. Hitter has to make a decision, but it can go up, down, left, or right off of this. So now hitter makes a decision. In that case, it goes left. And this one, it's going to come up. There it looks fat. Yes, I can hit it. No, it's going to go above the barrel. That's the idea of what a tunnel can look like. It can go up. It can go to your right as a curveball. And on this last one, looks like it's a ball, comes over the plate. Strike 3.
One out, it's Emma Helm.
And that's why she's tough to hit, because she gives you a different look. It's a rise, it's a drop. That last pitch, a screwball. So it's a little bit of everything. And you have to make your decisions, cut the plate or split the zone.
But I love when a pitcher can go up and down and not just left and right. Actually, I should say I don't like it. As a hitter, I don't like it. If you could just go fatty all the time, I'd be great. Like, no movement. But most pitchers would always go left to right, and I'm good with that. But once you start going north and south, now you miss barrels.
So it's funny because the game used to be in the 80s and 90s up and down, and then through the 2000s, it was the curveball and the screwball. It's like the rise ball and the drop ball are making the resurgence.
Making a comeback.
Yeah, it's interesting how the trends of the game.
Well, because the hitters respond. Once we start hitting you, you got to figure out another way.
Well, listen, we've always struck you out, so.
Let's go. Come on.
Bring it. It's zigging and zagging.
Well, for Megan King, the K count is now up to 26 in 24 innings here at the World Series, where she's 2-0 without giving up an earned run. And look at now, she's cheerleading a little bit with her catcher. I got you, she says to Shelnutt. But it's a ball 4 to Helm. Well, the College World Series gets underway Saturday, June 16th at 2 Eastern, live on ESPN from TD Ameritrade Park in Omaha. For more information on the guys, go to NCAA.com, the official online home for all 90 NCAA championships.
Super Regionals start this week. My Stanford Cardinal lost to Cal State Fullerton this weekend. They were the 5 overall seed. I'm a little bitter about it.
A lot of upsets, right?
A little bit of
bitterness in that voice.
Texas had a huge win last night.
Kaya Gibson is on as the pinch runner at first.
And how cool is it that Florida State's softball team, Mike Martin and the baseball team, got knocked this weekend, but tell you what, softball program, what Lonnie Alameda's been able to do in conjunction with the baseball program.
A lot of bat and ballers in Tallahassee rooting on the softball team. They've had a lot of spring heartbreak. The most women's College World Series without a title. This is their 10th trip, and of course for baseball and Mike Martin, what I think the count is 16 College World Series without a title.
The next closest is like 9.
Yeah. Softball's got a chance for the first time in school history. In a decade of leadership from Lonnie Alameda, and those are the numbers. Incredible.
They've been incredible numbers in the postseason. It's just the World Series they've yet to capture. On the baseball side, softball waiting this year. Biggest chance.
ACC has yet to win one. On the West Coast, they're pouting about a 6-year drought, and the ACC saying, why don't you just hold my beverage on that? Okay, we got some business to tend to right here, and we'd like that drought to end. Well, it all speaks to the growth of the game and the dominance of the Pac-12 conference, and how even West Coast kids now, they want to come play at the Florida States and the Michigans and in the SEC and at the Oklahomas. Everybody's building bigger and better stadiums, and the recruiting getting bigger and better. Here's your softball championships by conference. 23, 5 different Pac-12 schools have won it. Oklahoma has all 4 under Patty Gasso for the Big 12. The SEC, 3 in the last 7 years. And Florida State hoping to get that first for the ACC. The catch is made in foul territory by Danny Morgan. And there you have it, painting by numbers.
Back in the day, there really wasn't softball as much on the East Coast, so everybody had to go west. But now that there's the SEC in '97 started having softball as a women's sport, it's amazing how it's really started to draw the athletes from all over the country.
Michigan and Coach Hutch, of course, broke through in 2005. That was the first year of the championship series. And that was the first team east of the Mississippi River to win a title.
Otherwise, they don't win that championship. UCLA won game 1. If that was in 2004, a year prior, UCLA takes home the trophy.
And similar to Florida State, that was a Michigan team that was playing late on a Sunday night. They had to play twice that day.
That's why I love the championship series. I mean, you get pumped for game 1, but you just understand it takes more than just these 7 innings.
Here's the 0-2 to Melhart, and the strikeout for King. Washington gets a base runner, and then King gets a couple of outs. Mason, Warren, and Gordon coming up. Stick around for one of the top power hitters in NCAA history, as King gets K number 5.
It's been a long road to the Women's College World Series for Washington ace, the Aussie ace, Gabby Plain. She is from New South Wales in Australia. She sent emails to Heather Tarr when she was a kid growing up and saying, hey, I've heard that Washington is a great place to play. She's come a long way from home to be here as a part of this team. And the most important thing to me is that her parents were able to make it. They got on a flight from Sydney, flew 13 hours to San Francisco, another 4-hour flight to Oklahoma City, and they are here in the stands supporting their daughter a long way from home, but right at home in the circle.
And she's back out there, Holly, for the top of the 5th. After working out of a couple of jams in the 3rd and the 4th, we are scoreless. And you get the sense, too, talking with Gabby, the kind of competitor she is, but also sort of the I don't really know what this environment is like, so I don't really have any expectations coming in here that will weigh me down.
She didn't grow up watching the Women's College World Series, and in fact, it wasn't until she committed to Washington that she was aware of it, that it even existed. And I love that, because there is some sort of just amazement that you see in her eyes. It's almost like all of us when we were 9, 10, 11 years old seeing this for the first time.
She's up 0-2 on Elizabeth Mason, 9, and then the top of the order. One and two.
And if I'm Team Australia right now, I'm super excited about this. She's coming over here getting all this experience with the Olympics coming back in 2020. Look at the environment she's thrown in, and she's smiling. She's been successful.
Megan King pitching for Team Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Mason, Van Zee, one down.
Gabby Plain, 3 strikeouts on the evening, but it's her ball movement that's so impressive. The way that she can steer this pitch, it's command and control, the curveball on the corner. Look at this over-the-top 2-seam drop ball. Just rolls off the table. And hey, I'll go down, but yeah, I'll go upstairs too. The rise ball, taking you up the ladder. Just amazing movement in the low 60s.
3 strikeouts for Gabby. Just the 1 hit. And meanwhile, King only 2 hits allowed so far tonight.
And she's not a swing and miss pitcher. She'll get the 3 strikeouts that we saw, but for the most part, she is a contact pitcher. You see more fly balls and ground outs tonight in this game, but her idea is, hey, I want you to try to swing. I just don't want you to have a lot of hard contact.
Here we go again with Jessie Warren. Remember, she swung at the first pitch she saw back in the 3rd inning with a runner on 3rd base and popped up for the 2nd time tonight.
And just to your point, I'd like to add that she's a miss-contact pointer, because she makes you miss. That's the thing that's so awesome. She is pitch to contact, but you never, it's really hard to square up.
Fouls that one off. Warren is that player that can change the game with 1 swing. The senior out of Tampa. Her teammates call her relentless in the batter's box.
And if you can pop Jessie Warren up with a runner at 3rd with less than 2 outs, you're pretty darn good.
Here's the 1-2. Got her to reach for one. Is she strong enough to pull that into the gap? She is, off the track. And sliding in safely to second base. It wasn't her pitch initially, but she turned it into hers.
Are you kidding me right now? I mean, you got 2 strikes. This is the swing and miss pitch. This is the one that you're not supposed to hit. Look at the location, and oh, by the way, it's 58 off the plate. She throws her bat to meet this. You know what this is supposed to do? It's supposed to be a bloop to the shortstop, but where does it go? It goes to the wall in left center field on a hop. Jessie Warren has got some serious strength. I don't even know how she did that.
That's incredible.
Continues her torrid pace at the World Series. Her 9th hit here. She's close to 500 on the biggest stage. And it's the 3rd inning in a row with a runner in scoring position. FSU, however, is 0 for 5 tonight. The 1-0 to Carson Gordon. Off speed upstairs, 2-0. It's almost a sly little grin that she pitches with, isn't it?
Yeah,
when she's in there, like that little confident facade.
Well, I think that's the changeup. Like, oops, that was a little bit high.
That's what it was.
I needed to
she
throw
threw a bad
lower.
changeup.
Look at that. Look at that face. And a strike on the outside corner, 2-1.
That was a strike, but you could tell kind of mixed up. I think it was supposed to be more up in the zone. Emma Helm behind the plate. They got lucky. They still got the call.
Yeah.
With Warren at second. The go-ahead run.
I'd like to see Gabby Plain get in on the hands a little bit more. When you see Jessie Warren get the hit that she got, that tells me she's zero fear of anything in her half. She's not backing him off the plate enough to be able to get the swing and miss and the bigger miss away.
Gordon's going to get way back in the, almost outside the back of the box to see this 3-1 pitch. Grounded to Bates, goes up for it. It's short, the throw to first. In time for the out, 2 down, and Warren to third.
Aggressive base running by Jessie Warren to take off on this. Recognizes the high hop and that it's going to be a tough play for Bates to get her going to third to Vanzi. Look at the hop, and you could see the eyes of Warren watching Bates. This is Bates'
arm
money.
strength,
Yeah.
She's coming down off the hop, and she just throws a laser to first.
And a big moment here for the freshman, Sydney Sherrill. Reached on an error and lined out to left. Runner on third in the third inning, couldn't get her home. In the fourth inning, couldn't get her home. And another one here in the fifth. Plain stays away. Jessie Warren with the lob wedge double and the aggressive base running to get her over to third. Sherrill into the stands.
She had a near double her last at bat. And so far, the plan for Gabby Plain against these Florida State hitters has been a lot of away, whether they're lefty or righty. She still will go up and down, but has not come in on the hands a lot. And Sherrill lined out to left field on an outside pitch.
Goes with the outside pitch.
And that's where I think she needs to come in. We're seeing Florida State make the adjustments. And I made the example, Jessie Warren, the fact that she could hit a pitch way off the plate and low tells you Florida State's adjusting. And right now, Sydney Sherrill, line drive foul because she knows what's coming. Get her in on the hands, back her off the plate.
Sydney Sherrill has that inside-out swing, likes to take everything. The error by Bates in the first inning, everything has been left side.
Who can bust up the pitcher's duel here tonight with Plain and King? Both scoreless for over 20 innings. Megan over 30. And here's the 1-2 to Sydney Sherrill. Fly ball, DuPont has some room in foul territory. And another stranded base runner for the Noles. We remain scoreless as we head to the bottom of the fifth in game one. USA Softball Hall of Fame Stadium.
What a cool shot.
Best 2 out of 3. Beth Mowens, Michelle Smith, Holly Rowe, and Cool Shot Mendoza with you tonight.
We got an airplane.
That's right.
Shooting shots for us above. You know you're big time, right? That's cool.
Showing the whole complex here. There's
all the fields.
Fields, that's right.
37th year of this Women's College World Series and our 14th year with the best 2 out of 3 championship series. Each year we find some drama somewhere, whether it's walk-offs or 17 innings. Where is it going to come from tonight? Kelly Burdick in the 9 spot. Then the top of the order will come around to see Megan King for the 3rd time, and Cheryl won't have a play with the speed of Burdick. We've got game 2 of the Champ Finals for you tomorrow night. That'll come your way at 8 Eastern on ESPN. The If Necessary game would be Wednesday night, and that would be at 8:30 Eastern. Also on ESPN, streaming live on the ESPN app. We've also got coverage on ESPN3 for you this year, something brand new with our 7 innings live broadcast that's going on. If you want to hop on your computer right now, grab your phone. Additional coverage with Laura Rutledge, Amanda Scarborough, Kayla Bro, and Adam Amin.
There they are.
Oh, look at that. Oh, they're
having a guest?
having way too much fun. Yes, they do have a guest. And a lot of popcorn.
They need to send some of that popcorn
Is that
over
a
here.
crab? A lobster? What is that? A big stuffed. Of course they have like stuffed.
They have props.
Seafood.
I didn't see the funnel cake yet. Is that
Funnel
coming
cake.
out later?
There's probably Dippin' Dots up there too.
Only the best here at the Women's College World Series. Washington with a base runner and the very dangerous Taylor Van Zee at the plate. A ground out and a base hit today for Taylor. Through the first 3 games of this World Series, look at the jump up to a .324 batting average, and this is when they scored 9 of their 11 runs.
3rd time through the order.
3rd time through the order, adjustments, and hey, it doesn't hurt when Kelly Burdick, your number 9 hitter, starts off the inning with an infield base hit. That's what it's all about. Old school, you get the first runner on, bunter over, you get a base hit. Or 2 or 3.
Going the opposite way, but lined right at Danny Morgan. 1 down. Well, they have not needed much. They have a couple of shutout wins, Washington. Beating Oklahoma 2-0 and 3-0. And they beat Oregon 6-2. Half of their wins in the NCAA tournament have been shutouts, and they've only allowed 7 runs in 8 games. So with time starting to get short, 1 or 2 may be all you need for either of these teams.
Well, that's the difference right now between these 2 programs, is that Washington, most of their hitters have not even had double-digit at-bats.
I think they just called an illegal pitch on Megan King for going too fast and not taking the required time needed prior to the pitch. She's not taking the 2-second pause, according to umpire Terry Holt, who's out there today with Aaron Peterson and Chris Neighbors on the bases.
And this is a newer rules of a couple years ago. And we talked about her quick pitching, and the batter just needed to be in the box. She also has to take 2 seconds once she gets the signal.
The runner goes, the throw down, and sliding in safe with the stolen base is Burdick.
Speed of Burdick, I mean, it's not even close. I mean, she's sliding, coming up from her slide as the ball gets there.
A couple of stolen bases for both sides now, and this is the 3rd time that Washington has put a runner in scoring position. Sis Bates, sacrifices are over, but now you got 2 outs.
It is, because I would have sacrificed. I was joking about it a little bit. Old school, you get the first runner on, you bunt her over. They chose not to bunt Taylor Van Zee. She lines out in a non-productive out, but still, you steal the base, so you get Burdick to second, and then the bunt goes down. But now there's 2 outs with the runner at third. Yes, you can hope for a pass ball, an error.
Or you're hoping for a big swing here from Julia DuPont. Checked it.
If you actually play the percentages, though, there's a better chance of a runner scoring from second with less than 2 outs than a runner scoring from third with 2 outs.
She's 0 for 2, struck out on a rise ball in the 3rd. That was when the bases were loaded with 1 out, and King worked out of the jam with back-to-back Ks. to the right side. Sherrill with time. And they take care of business. Another runner stranded. We are scoreless through 5 in the Champ Series. The Noles, no drama. 6 elimination wins against 6 All-American pitchers so far in the postseason, including at the regionals and the supers. And then 4 more in 2 days here, Saturday and Sunday. Working their way all the way back through the losers bracket to reach the finals. It doesn't happen much. And they've tied the NCAA record with those 6 elimination wins. When you lose on opening day, only those 2 teams, A&M and UCLA, have come all the way back to win the championship. Florida State is the 5th team to make it out of that first day loss to even reach the championship. They were joking earlier. I think they were joking earlier. You know, a game 1 loss wouldn't be too damaging. Then we'd feel right at home.
That was actually the
elimination
messaging.
game. Yeah,
hey, we just got to go lose game 1, and then we're good. Which it covers you both ways. Obviously, you want to win game 1, but if you lose it, it's like there's no tightness, there's no pressure. It's like this is what we do if you're Florida State.
The loser of game 1 has only won the World Series 3 times in 13 chances. Most recently, Caleb Rowe's Alabama Crimson Tide over Oklahoma in 2002. Jackie Trainer's squad. Florida State's been knocking, but unable to get in. Chances in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but they are 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. Four, 5, and 6 here in the order. Shelnutt to left center, back to the wall, and Anna Shelnutt gives Florida State the lead.
Was postseason Anna. We saw a lot of the highlights that Beth just went over on their route to get here. Anna having a lot of those highlights, has struggled here at the World Series. But take this pitch, supposed to be in her half, really getting it on the hands. It doesn't. It leaves it a little bit more middle of the plate, but Anna Shelnutt taking this pitch in a big time at bat to get the Seminoles on the board.
And just the 7th home run of the year that Gabby Plain has given up, because she typically keeps that drop ball low. That one elevated and it got launched.
And the first home run of the NCAA tournament off of Washington pitching. Holly Rowe asked Anna about the nickname when we spoke to the team earlier, and she wanted to give it back. You know, I don't really think of postseason Anna anymore. I just want to get in, step into the batter's box and do my thing. Anna, it's going to stick. If you keep hitting it like that, you're going to own it. And new territory for the Huskies at this World Series. It's the first time they've been behind. Just the 8th run allowed in 9 postseason games. And now it's 3-0 to Danny Morgan.
And you can tell Gabby Plain, when she's releasing her drop ball, her arm is way out in front of her body. In fact, you just saw her do it there. She's trying to find that release point. When you throw a drop, you actually release that pitch because your body's angled forward. a little bit out in front of your body. There's the home run ball.
Tradition, giving it to mom and dad.
They are having a good time right now on the Florida State side with the 1-0 lead. Their first trip to the championship series. Now they've got the lead.
She even knows where the camera is. It's so funny. I mean, I get it. It's a home run. It's a big deal, but it's like the game's over and they're hugging and celebrating. Where's the camera? I'm going to thank everyone that's got me here today.
She just said, I love you, Mom.
Morgan thought she walked, but they'll bring her back. And now Morgan has to be careful. You don't want to show up that umpire too much. She's coming back with a 3-2 count.
I think this is a decent pitch on the corners. I think she's questioning the height of it. If I'm a pitcher, I want that pitch called for a strike. It's at the knees and dumping down through the zone.
Base hit. Back-to-back hits for the Seminoles with nobody out. Well, tonight after Monday Night Baseball, it's SportsCenter with Stan and Neil. They'll have Steve Levy and Barry Melrose from D.C. to break down Game 4, the Golden Knights and the Caps, plus how the Cavs can beat the Warriors as the series heads back to Cleveland. We go inside the numbers. SportsCenter after the D-backs Giants on ESPN and your ESPN app. Zoe Cassis, after 3 unsuccessful tries to get to Gabby Plain in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th innings, the breakthrough comes on the solo home run by Anna Shelnutt.
The Seminoles know they have to keep going and advancing a runner right now with nobody out, eliminating the pop flies. It's been the Achilles heel so far for the Seminoles, besides the home run fly ball that went out. Uncharacteristic amount of fly balls.
Yeah, look at the 5-6 hole, how open it is. Bates shifted way up the middle.
Casas, dribble foul. Second time here for Heather Tarr as a coach. First time for her good friend and her old buddy Lonnie Alameda, who Heather was telling us really is a mentor of hers and an inspiration for the coach that she wanted to be. They would travel together and actually room together sometimes on recruiting trips when they were both assistant coaches. Bates charges, throws to first, and Cassis is safe. Nope, they're gonna bring her back, call it a dead ball for contact outside the batter's box. And that will bring the base runner back to first.
This is the new rule for slappers. Their foot has to be inside the batter's box. Look at the left foot right there, clearly outside the batter's box. Again, a new rule change. And Casas, this is why she gets to this ball. It's up and away. Look at the location and look at what her left foot allows her to get that reach. The ability to be able to get to this pitch barely to. A good call by home plate umpire Tony Holt behind the plate, Terry Holt behind the plate.
Score it 2-U. And the out, which we we haven't seen a whole lot of
I think
during the tournament. We haven't seen it much in the World Series, and we have seen times where it could have been called.
And that's Lonnie Alameda's argument right now, is where has this call been? Because we've seen it. We've done highlights where we've rolled back tons of slappers that have been outside the batter's box. Now you get championship game 1. It's called.
And an important moment.
And we do have to stress, of course, that was the correct call.
Yes, that was a great call.
Yes.
It's the rule. You made the right call.
Yep. Callie Harrod. Runner goes. Helm with the throw down, and Atley couldn't hold on to make the tag. Third stolen base. Danny Morgan over to second.
This is what they are going to keep doing. Third stolen base, as you mentioned, and it hasn't even been close. And a big part, this is a better throw from Helm, but still a short hop. It's difficult for Bates to be able to handle.
Helm, a young catcher, just too much time from glove to hand to release, too much movement. That's part of the reason she struggles.
Coming in on Harrod. And a new Women's College World Series for Danny Morgan with her 6th stolen base. So she breaks the record that had been held by Brittany Rogers and Kirsty Merritt. And she's got time to do more damage. Game 1, best 2 out of 3 for the national championship. Harrod, will that get over the top of Bates? No. Sis back on the grass, and the double play on the throw to second. Defense limits the damage, but the home run from Anna Shelnutt has Florida State in front.
Anna Shelnutt sending one deep to get this scoreless game. Seminoles up 1-0.
Sis Bates showing a range at shortstop, and the double play for Washington. Can they use that as a springboard, as for the first time in this College World Series they find themselves down? Florida State up 1-0 on the Anna Shelnutt home run. And now can the Huskies break through against Megan King, who's only been scoreless for what, a streak of over 30 innings now for Megan. Sherrill, 1 out. Just a couple of hits allowed, 3 of them, 1 for Van Zee, 1 for Melhart, 1 for Burdick. And all 3 of those were infield hits. They haven't gotten to the grass. He out to right. Defensive replacement Karina Rosario with the catch, 2 down.
Coach Tarr going to take a little bit of time here, try to give Gabby Plain a little bit of a breather. This has been a quick inning. Just a couple pitches already, 2 outs recorded.
Let's send it down to Holly.
Well, I've been trying to keep a close eye on this Florida State team, wondering if fatigue would set in, because they have played 4 elimination games in the last 48 hours. They were at the ballpark about 12 to 14 hours a day the last 2 days. When we talked to Jessie Warren, the third baseman today, she said, I feel like I've been hit by a truck. But they went to the OKC Thunder facility and had cryotherapy work today to reduce inflammation. They seem like the fresh, energetic team right now. I don't see any signs of what they've been through the last couple of days, and that's got to be a concern for Washington right now.
Can you tell us more about what cryogenic or whatever you just said is?
If they'll let me.
Foul ball.
Yes, I'd love to.
Get cold to get
So
warm.
you get into this chamber that has, it's about 200 minus Fahrenheit, and you go in for about 2 minutes. It's kind of steamy. It's like you're getting a dry ice all over your body. I've actually done it. You come out feeling like a brand new person. I've had ACL surgery. My knee felt normal. It's really great.
Thank you, Holly.
Well, you're welcome.
Or should I
Back
say
to you,
thank you,
Dr.
Emma
Mullins.
Helm, for the foul ball.
Thank you very much. That's why she's the Hall of Fame Stadium reporter.
That's right.
Holly Rowe.
Negative 200.
That sounds a little cold.
Let's take an ice bath to a whole nother level.
And the strikeout for King. 3 up and 3 down. A 1-0 Florida State lead as we head to the 7th in Game 1 of the Champ Series.
I think that the cardiac kids are ready. It's not just me or Megan, it's the whole team.
I've seen our team play Florida State softball, and it's not about the opponent, it's about us.
And you just got to keep throwing punches because you don't know which punch is going to knock them out.
Oh, the heartbeats are starting to race around Tallahassee and Seattle. Florida State with the 1-0 lead over Washington as we head to the top of the 7th inning. Morgan Claveman, Elizabeth Mason, and then Jessie Warren. I know you've had some interaction in your career with Lonnie Alameda, and she, you find a lot of people in the softball world pulling for her.
Oh, gosh, yeah. She was my assistant coach all 4 years at Stanford. I mean, I was 17 years old, just a pup when I showed up on her doorstep, and she helped grow me up for sure. And you can see it in the players' eyes, and it's a relatability I have with them, but what she can bring out with them it's really cool to see. And that's what allows them to, the Megan King conversations with the Kylie Hansons, for them to be able to be themselves. It starts at the top. Having the real conversations, sometimes the harder conversations.
One to Claveman trying to drop it down. There's been something special about this ride. Elimination game after elimination game, and they just keep winning and moving on. Gabby Plain is the 7th All-American pitcher they've faced in the postseason. Taryn Alvelo, if they see her tomorrow, would be the 8th. And they just keep winning.
Well, and grinding at bats.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been like they've smoked her. They had one hit that was a home run that got the run scored, but really Plain got out a lot of jams. The other 3 hits not hit hard.
Called strike 3, 1 down. And then you've got a player like Elizabeth Mason, who before she arrived on Lonnie Alameda's doorstep, she was in the bosom of our own Michelle Smitty as a former camper down in Clearwater.
Yeah, she played for the Clearwater Bombers, and just a sweet kid. She caught, she'd always have her gear on, her glasses, and great hitter even back then. Just knew she was going to have tools.
Fouls off the first pitch. We couldn't even ask her a question before she could get out. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I was at your camps as a kid.
I love that.
So
Should I
cute.
kneel? Should I not?
Yeah.
Michelle Smith is so close, but I'm so far.
A couple of other kids in there, Sammy Gratt, Brooke McIntyre, kids that I coached, and the Clearwater Bombers, great organization, but you could tell she had the fire back then.
She was a little frustrated in the Super Regional. She's been in and out of the lineup a little bit at the end of the year, and she was telling Jessie Warren, I am so ready for my moment. I'm going to be ready when it comes. And that moment came yesterday when she saved their season with the 6th inning 3-run home run off of Player of the Year Rachel Garcia against UCLA.
And it was great. I spoke with her parents before the game, Carl Mason and Sarah Mason, and there they are. It's a great look at them. She played for her father, Mason Clearwater Bombers, growing up her entire life. And you know, they'd bring the kids to camp. I'd go to their picnics, and the involvement is unbelievable. Yeah. I'm so proud of them to be able to see what their daughter has been able to live her dreams.
One and two.
Well, the biggest at bat of her life.
Yeah.
Yesterday against UCLA. You mentioned kind of struggling, fighting through, not in the lineup every day, but she even told her teammate Jessie Warren, my moment will come and I'll be ready.
Watches ball 2.
Just such maturity on even the freshmen on both these clubs. You know, I think that's the thing that you realize as an athlete, how good they are at such a young age.
Two from Plain. Gets the strikeout, 2 in a row, and it's 2 down to the top of the order. And one more time to deal with Jessie Warren.
That 2-seam drop ball that just falls off the table. You got to try to hit underneath this thing. You can see the way the bat just scooches over top of it. You almost have to look at that 2-seam fastball and think about hitting underneath the ball.
A double the last time she was up. $20 more home runs this year, 68 runs batted in. Number 9 HRs, number 8 RBI in NCAA history.
Jessie Warren, her last at bat, making an adjustment on pitch location. She'd struggled with the rise ball. Her first 2 at bats pop flies and doubles on a pitch that was like at her toes away. And that's why she lays off that rise ball. Best hitter in this lineup, but look at, this is the pitch sequence of the 3 at bats. The first one, the fly out, the second one, the fly out, then the double, the location of the double that was down around her ankles. And that last pitch she just took was up in the zone. She knows her wheelhouse, and that's belt and below. Which usually works well. I mean, Gabby playing a drop ball pitcher, that, you know, you come to this game, you're Jessie Warren, you're like, I hit down well. Like, I want to face Gabby Plain. What does Gabby Plain do first 2 at bats? I'm going upstairs, upstairs, upstairs.
Pop up.
Yes. Finally gives her what she wants. That's why she got the double. See if she tries to go up or down on this one.
Could be extras for Warren, rounding the bag at first, heading for second. And a couple of extra base hits on the night for Warren.
What an at-bat. I mean, I love seeing the development of Jessie Warren. First of all, freshman year to senior year, but even just tonight, her laying off the rise ball to get this pitch. This is a drop, but it doesn't continue to go down. But this is why you see the swing of Warren. Smitty, you talked about being able to get underneath the drop ball. Warren's swing does that. That's why she gets herself another double.
Yeah, that pitch slightly elevated. The 2-seam drop isn't going to fall off as much. It's a, got to throw it in the right spot, and Warren just capitalizes on it.
She'll give way here for a pinch runner. Warren can stay in the game defensively at third base in the bottom of the 7th, which will be the last opportunity for Washington. Leslie Ferris will come on to pinch run. The irony for Jessie Warren, who grew up playing baseball and thought one day she'd be playing in Omaha at the Men's College World Series.
Cool.
And now she's looking to leave her mark in Oklahoma City at the Women's College World Series. It would be one of the more remarkable runs. Having won 6 elimination games in the NCAA tournament, including 4 over the weekend. Well, now they're 3 outs away from a Game 1 win. Gordon's 0 for 3 today.
It's remarkable that Florida State, obviously the lead on the home run, but their timely hitting has really been absent after we saw so much of it yesterday. 0 for 10 with runners on, 0 for 8 wrist. But they don't really care because they have the lead. An insurance run would be very nice at this point for them.
Gordon goes out of the zone, 1 and 2.
Well, the key for Washington coming up in the bottom of the 7th, they got their speedster 7, 8, 9 to lead up to their best hitter in Taylor Van Zee. They need to get her up to bat. She'll be hitting 4th.
Missed it low, 2 and 2.
That means 2s, a lot of 2s, 2 2s, 2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Called strike 3. 1-0 Florida State. Last chance for the Huskies. Atlee, Melhart, and Burdick, and they've got 2 of the 3 hits today for UW. Let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. A little pitching, a little hitting.
You know, Megan King has been outstanding in the circle, using all of her pitches. Her rise has been jumping, the curve has been running.
But Anna Shelnutt, I mean, you got to hit to win. I love the pitching, and Megan King has been dominant, but she needs the bats to pick it up, and they had one big one. Shelnutt sending this over the fence. That's the difference, 1-0 Florida State Seminoles.
That coming in the 6th inning, and it still stands. 7, 8, and 9 in the order coming up for Washington. The winner of Game 1 has won 10 of the 13 championship series here in Oklahoma City. And for Megan King in the circle, a streak of 32 1/3 innings without giving up an earned run.
And Beth, this is what you want when you're Washington. A lot of times you don't want 7, 8, 9 leading off an inning that you need to win. But for Washington, they need the speed. They need base runners. And these are some of the 3 best base runners and speed on this team to be able to set up then the best hitters to hit them in.
So critical for King to get the 1-2-3 inning in the 6th, because if she can get another one here, don't have to deal with Van Zee or Bates. 2 of the clutch hitters at the top of the order for Washington.
And look at the breath. And she said the bigger the pitch, the bigger the breath. Knowing that the mentality of being in this moment and calming yourself, getting yourself right, preparing for that pitch.
I think she goes away off the plate to get Atlee to chase. And a little bit too far. That's why you see Anna Shelnutt standing up, calm down.
Base hit right back up the middle, Taryn Atlee. Tying run on board, winning run at the plate.
It's a beautiful poke after the pitch all the way. Every pitch in this count. Megan King leaves this one a little bit more middle. Natalie does a great job. Normally going to the short game, she leaves her feet still on this one, but you see her backside kind of follow through, which gives it just enough to sneak it into the grass.
And the first ball to reach the grass today for Washington. This is Tristan Melhart, singled back in the third. King struck her out in the fourth.
Look for the bunt.
One of those players that has been affected by the slapping change that we saw earlier today. She changed her entire swing because of the rule.
Yeah. Watch what she does. So her slap game is going to be that front foot that's going to look more like a leg kick to try to time her better. She just lays down a sack.
And the diving catch by Warren for the double play. Jessie Warren laying out. And now Florida State an out away from a win.
And this is all about positioning, reading the hands of Melhart. Look where she starts at. She reads the hand, she's on a full sprint, and she knows the second that ball has any arch in it, she is going full out. That ball's up in the air, she comes out of nowhere. Look at that. That is a Sports Center top 10, baby.
Number one.
And then presence of mind to take her time. Look at the way she's going to make the catch. Oh, gets out, great stretch, and then presence of mind to come up and make a good throw
she's emotional.
to first.
She's fired up.
Sydney Sherrill, second baseman, covering. Wow.
Big time play.
And that makes this the last chance for Washington with their 9-hitter Kelly Burdick singled in the fifth. We talked about the pitching and the defense of Washington throughout this tournament, and tonight it has been the pitching and the defense of Florida State, and one swing of the bat from Anna Shelnutt, the home run ball. Herod at short, and Burdick rounded the base, and she's in big trouble. Safe, diving back into first as she turned the wrong way. And Florida State almost got the third out.
I think she thought that it was an overthrow and was into the dugout. So take a look, nice job by Gordon to come off and make the catch, but now Gordon probably needs to run her back, makes the throw, and Burdick able to get back. So she thinks it's in the dugout, she realizes it's not. Great job diving back in by Burdick. Wow.
That's right, a wipe of the brow, Kelly Burdick. And that will get Taylor Van Zee a chance. Singled in the third, a 400 hitter in the World Series.
This is who Washington wanted up to bat. There's speedsters at the bottom to get to the best hitter at the top.
Been thinking about this moment since the day she committed to Washington in the 9th grade. Snap throw down to first, and Burdick diving back in safely again.
Gotta be careful on that one. The outfield playing deep. That gets past the first baseman. Ooh.
Down to their final strike.
Taylor Van Zee had shortened up on that last swing. They've gone all the way with that curveball to her. Expect to go back there again. Van Zee, the rare swing and miss. Very much a contact player. Oh, and that's exactly Taylor Van Zee looking away. She comes back in, a great pitch by Megan King. This is a ball, but it's a setup. Almost gets her on the elbow.
Others may have stood there and got hit to take the bag, but not Van Zee. She wants to swing. Checks it up, 3-2.
Another great hold by Taylor Van Zee.
And now for Van Zee, you put it in play. Burdick will have a head start at first with the 3-2 count and 2 outs.
Outfielders on the warning track.
With Burdick's speed, she was already 3/4 of the way to second.
And the reason the outfielders are literally like backs against the wall is they do not want to let Kelly Burdick score. They want to eliminate the double, so they want everything to be in front of them so that run does not score.
Right back to King, who snares it and fires to first. And game 1 goes to Florida State. Anna Shelnutt, the solo home run in the 6th inning. Jessie Warren, the all-out diving grab for the double play here in the bottom of the 7th. And Megan King improves to 3-0 at the Women's College World Series.
What an effort, too. You think about the team, Megan King and a Shelnutt getting the hit, but Jessie Warren, it goes unspoken she got the 2 doubles, but that layout for the bunt is the difference in this game, because I guarantee with the speed of Washington, they would have scored this inning.
And ironically, we talk about the defense of Washington. 2 errors on the evening, and it was Florida State, just as you said, lights out, King in the circle, in control. This is a team that is just comfortable in their own skin right now, doing what they're doing, and that's winning ball games. Megan King using all of her pitches. She's got the curveball going into the righties. She'll use the rise ball, hopping it up to the top of the zone, dropping in the drop, just looking at every quadrant, and she fooled some very good Washington hitters tonight.
6 strikeouts and the 5-hit shutout for Megan King. And a 1-0 Florida State lead down to Holly Rowe.
Well, Megan King, you did something today that no one's been able to do here at the World Series, beat Washington. How hard was that last pitch to their best hitter?
I think it was great. I knew I had defense behind me that had me every single play. I mean, the momentum of Jessie catching that ball just lifted our spirits, and we're just beyond excited to just get this win, and just especially since we've kind of struggled with the first win. But we're just super, super pumped to get this win and just get after it tomorrow.
What did you think when your catcher, Anna Shelnutt, was the one to get the run support?
I mean, it's amazing. Anna's been there for us all season. She does a great job behind the plate. I mean, she is just in it every single pitch. She'll just talk to me and just calm me down and just embrace the moment. And I just so appreciate her back there.
Your team is so used to having to fight and avoid elimination. How are you going to handle it if you're not the underdogs going into tomorrow?
I think we're just going to appreciate it, take it in, and just kind of get after it tomorrow, make adjustment where they need to be, and just kind of soak it all up in. I mean, this is a great experience.
Thank you.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you, Holly. Congratulations to the Florida State Seminoles. A win away from their first national championship. And we will be back here for Game 2 of the Champ Finals tomorrow at 8 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Anna Shelnutt, the solo home run, stands. Jessie Warren all out for the biggest defensive play of the day in a 1-0 win. Now it's time to get you to Sports Center. We'll see you tomorrow night.
What's up, Kenny? Ugh. Oh my gosh, and you think about how this team's been doing it, and you hear team effort all the time, but Megan King in the circle, and a Shelnutt who's been super quiet as their cleanup hitter, comes up big with the home run. But I'm telling you, Kenny, it was the diving play at the end, the defensive gem double play move that really put the nail in the coffin for Washington. You know, I see this game going to 3, and it's because Washington didn't get to showcase what they do, and guaranteed they will game 2. And so even though Florida State, it was a very close game, I think there's a lot of nerves. You got to think these teams haven't been, you know, on this stage. And for Washington, they were super quiet with the bats. They had an uncharacteristic 2 errors. That just doesn't happen. So game 2, I'm looking forward to it because you're going to see a lot more from Washington, I think, offensively. And then Florida State, for them to match up game 3, you're right, Kenny. This is a 1-0, very evenly matched 2 teams. You too.
Jessie Warren, you told me earlier today you felt like you'd been hit by a truck. So how were you able to sell out your body in the air to make that play?
At this point in the season, everyone's feeling that way. So I think just giving everything you have in these last 2 games, and just doing it for the girls that stand to the left and right of me. It's not about me, it's about my team. So it's easy to do that when you're worried about your teammates and not yourself.
Was that one of the best plays you've ever made?
I think so, yeah. It was pretty, my adrenaline was going, and I just felt good, so.
You're in the mid-air, mid-catch. When you came up and the ball was still in your glove, what went through your mind?
I was actually looking to see if the girl was close to first or if she was close to second, and she had taken off the steal, so I was trying to get her to double off, and I mean, that happened, so.
Congratulations.
Thank you.